Hello, I'm Kevin Lentz, and it's Wine Wednesday again here at French Grocery. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Today we're talking about 5 awesome wines, all under $20 and perfect for this time of year. Your evenings are cooling off. You got Halloween coming up. You probably want something to drink while you're handing out candy to the kids. Or you're planning maybe a big dinner just to celebrate the kind of al fresco experiences that we can have at home right now. So I'm going to start with the very best one here. Although there's a perfect wine for every occasion, this may not be for your every occasion, but this wine's made a big impression on me. You've heard me talk about Clos de Cailloux in the past couple weeks. You may have written the things that I've said about my experiences there. But this was a wine that I had even before I visited that domain. And when I tasted it, I really felt like this is one of the best white wines that I've had this year. It may even be the best, especially when I put it in terms of the best wine that's new to me. I had not tasted this wine before this year, and this 2015 vintage is excellent. What we have here is Grenache Blanc and Claret Rose. For the most part, these are very aromatic, floral varieties. So you put your nose in this glass, you're going to get what I feel are some more sort of like late season floral varieties, and sort of not quite fall in leaf, but a little bit of that element, just a little touch of citrus. It's an intriguing wine to smell, but then you taste it, and there's terrific acidity here. This region can give us white wines that are a little too oily and waxy, and that's not the case here. Great acidity. I believe this wine can be cellared, which is something extraordinary for a $19 bottle of wine retail, but it drinks wonderfully now, and I don't think there's enough of it that we're going to see anybody laying this stuff down anyway. You're going to drink it now and enjoy it, and know that you've got wine from a great producer, what's basically declassified Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Gruner Veltliner, completely in obscurity about a decade ago. In the last 10 years, it's been increasing in popularity. It's not quite such a fad anymore. I don't feel like people are writing about it and talking about it as much, which just gives me a great opportunity to introduce it to you if you kind of missed out on that big wave, because there's still a lot of awesome Gruner Veltliner that we have here in Phoenix. This comes from the Michael Skurnik import portfolio, Terry Thies wine. Austria, from the Kamptal region. Gobelsberg is the producer. Gruner Veltliner has like a little touch of greenness to it, but great acidity, great minerality. You can also get great citrus tones, but it's a weighty wine. It just has this wonderful, lush, rich, complex feel on the palate. So for you Chardonnay drinkers looking for something different, is not Chardonnay. It is its own thing. I don't want to confuse things, but it's definitely something to explore. I feel like a lot of what people might like behind Chardonnay is just, it's not something that's always so light and crisp and flighty. This has a great finish on it, and also some good sort of autumnal elements that'll go great with your menu or just alone in a glass. This is from the appellation Chinon. This is a Loire Valley appellation we've talked a little bit about. 100% Cabernet Franc. Cabernet Franc is a deep dark red grape, giving us really dark juice. This one in particular, though, it comes from young vines, not very tannic at all. Drinks with great youth and electricity, but what really gets me is the aromatics on it. There's a picture of roses in the label, and I don't want to taint or sort of predestine your impressions of the wine, but to me there's really big rose and floral, dried floral in particular, components on this. It just feels almost like, we're getting ready for the holidays when maybe your mom put out potpourri or something like that. My mom did. This wine really reminds me of that. But because it is pretty low in tan, and I feel like it's from younger vines, Cabernet Franc, you can almost treat it like some Beaujolais. It drinks great on its own. It's great with food. And I think that it's a wonderfully balanced wine for so many occasions. Here we have an appellation called Lirac. This is across the river from Châteauneuf-du-Pape. So across the river from where this wine's coming from. Syrah and Grenache, and I think that both elements show up really well in this wine. That's not always the case. I mean, very often we're finding a large majority Grenache or large majority Syrah. Good balance here. You get great sort of juicy, reduced fruit from that Grenache. The Syrah is giving us a lot of the sort of meaty and earthiness, and they go back and forth on the palate. I love this wine on its own. I think it's going to be an easy drinking wine for you while you're passing out candy, but it's also complex enough and surprises a lot of people. Comes from Eric Solomon and the European Cellars portfolio. So we know that good things come from them. They have very good portfolio. But this isn't anything to ignore. I've talked a lot about Rhone wines. I don't think I've mentioned this one yet. It's $16 on the shelf. It's so we basically have Côtes du Rhône village that has a named appellation. So we've got terroir in this wine, and we're not having to pay a lot of money for it, and that's a good thing, I believe. And finally, from Stelzner, producer out of Napa Valley. I haven't said much about domestic wines on Wine Wednesday, but this is one of my favorites. Very good Napa producer. They make a really high-end Cabernet Sauvignon. This is a claret blend, and you may have heard that word before on like Downton Abbey. They would talk about pulling out the claret and decanting it. That is just sort of an Anglosphere word for Bordeaux. And Bordeaux basically blended wines that come from Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. There's a few other varietals there, but those are the big two, and those are the big two that we're going to find here. So some younger vines from their properties in Napa Valley, and it's only $17. This over-delivers. It is so much better than a lot of Napa Valley Cab that's much more expensive than that. And I surprise a lot of people when I recommend this to them. A lot of times when people are looking for Bordeaux, I say, get this a shot. I mean, this drinks so well at the age it's at right now. It is also just a wine that if you're the kind of person that wants to buy a few cases and you got space in your home and a wine cellar to put it down, this is one of those that I think you can afford to do it, and you can also get a lot of really good results out of it. I think it's a well-built wine. It's not a big mass-produced wine like a lot of Napa Valley blends that you're going to find at the supermarket. That's the real deal. So that's all I got for you today. Enjoy Halloween and enjoy this season of lowering temperatures at night. These are all awesome wines for any occasion you're going to have over the next several weeks. Definitely come by here, talk to me about these wines, pop a bottle of wine while you're passing out candy Monday. Y'all have a great week, and I'll see you next time.